Okay, let's take a look at this sill detail, and I'm going to demonstrate the brick sill. I think some of you are using that. This one is a little bit awkward, obviously, because the brick is something like so. Now, I think this is a good idea. I just use detail lines to roughly draw out the shape as to how this is going to work out. So there's a couple of things here. That's going to be my brick on the edge, and then this will be the mortar joint in behind it. Our rigid insulation there. Um, we will be bringing in a window board across here, which will sit on a couple of battens, and we'll be bringing up our plasterboard to butt against that, so you get a nice neat join on it. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the opposite end, the sill end of that double hung window section that we had, and this is it here. You'll find it in the same place, so I'm left clicking and dragging that in, and I'm going to set that down. It obviously has to meet the one that's above it, so I'll just pop it in there for the moment and select it and move it across. Now if I just go back to the head detail, okay, and remembering what was in underneath, yeah, so I think we're just on the back of the back of the glazing here, so I'll just move that back to about there, something like that now. So you know, this is one unit rather than drawing it in as two. Now I'm going to position this like so, and okay, so that's kind of the start of that. Now there's too much of a gap here, you know, looking at the brick and having a big gap there, so I might like to drop down the timber a little bit here. And again, these would be kind of made specifically for this. This is kind of a generic detail, so but I'll do that for you now. I think that'll be handy to do. So I'm going to pick that 2D detail. Look, I'm going into edit family here. Now the 2D detail is just made up out of lines basically, so look, if I pick on that, what will happen is, well, first of all, I'm going to see if I can, no, that one seems to be kind of going all the way around there, so I'll bring this one down, I'll bring that one down, and I'll bring this one maybe to something like that, because what I want to do is bring this is the piece that will kind of take up that gap, if you like. So that'll be kind of a sill, and then the window unit will sit into that timber sill, which will sit on top of the block element there. Now I can load that into the project, overwrite the existing version, and you see what I mean. So I'm getting a little bit better of less of a gap that's happening here, and I'm kind of happy with that. Now the brickwork here is basically going to be a filled region. So I'm up into here and again into filled regions, and let's see what I've got here. I don't think I've anything that indicates a brick as such. So we've got the double cross hatch. Maybe that one might do the trick. So I'll use my pick lines here, because remember I drew this out first, and that pick lines is so handy to be able to do something like that. And there's my brick. Now it's not the right it is not the right hatch pattern, so I'm going to pick that and I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to say brick. Okay, and here, and we know that it is those kind of double diagonal cross-section lines. There's the steel one there. If you don't find it in drafting, there's brickwork, so we'll pick that. Okay, and again changing out the black for the grey, and that'll do the trick there. Okay, so that's grand. Now that's sitting there nicely. Now I want to draw another fill pattern here for the mortar and fill region. So again, I'm going to double click, duplicate. And the nice thing about this is it takes a little bit of time to set these up, but once they're done, once they're set up, they're there for you to use. So this will be mortar, say. Okay, and again, I'll just go in and I'll choose I'm just going to choose that one there for the moment, turn that into grey, you get the idea. Okay, and then I'll draw this in, and I'll have this in on the next video for